So hello everybody and good evening from Borneo. It's 7:35 p.m. here on 17 June 2026. Right now it's Wednesday, and yeah, today we are going to watch the launch of the Ariane Spaces or Ariane 64. This one would be the Block 2, which will be the inaugural flight for the P160C, replacing the P120C uses on the side solid rocket booster. As you see that kind of lots of smokes there, especially on the description. That's basically it. It's something that you want to know, right? So that's going to be pretty interesting for sure. We are going to see the flight, and today also another bonus is that instead of the typical 32 Amazon LEO satellites to be deployed, usually on the Ariane 64 flight, it will increase to another 4 satellites, so 36 overall will be launched for today. So hope for the best as well, because it's pretty interesting to see for sure. And yeah, I guess rather than wasting too much time, or maybe just give me just a little bit of time, I'm going to be back here shortly, because as well I'm still waiting on signals, various signal from. Okay, so looks like from what I can tell, I'm able to find another one. Okay, that's okay, pretty interesting. So I'm able to find another this one here. Okay, this one thanks to, how do I say, thanks to international rocket launches. I believe this channel actually uses the current feed right now, the raw feed of the Arianespace. So why not? We just check out and go look at this one instead, shall we? So let's go. So hello everybody, and welcome to this stream. Welcome to this channel. I'm Suguwa, your host today for the Arianespace's Ariane 64 Block 2 rocket. This one will be launching today, and it's going to launch for the Amazon LEO LE-03. Okay, LE stands for LEO Europe 03. Instead of the typical usual 32 satellites launch on board, this Block 2 upgrade, which the P160C on the side solid rocket boosters will replace the P120C. Okay, we are going to see this one on flight and hope for the best. We will see it. And rather than wasting too much time, I will bring you straight to this stream here. Okay, so thank you to international rocket launches. This is the current view right now. And yeah, it looks like I need to put it in the description as well. I need to credit this channel as well, because I'm using part of the footage here. And pretty good. Yeah. So far so good. We are still looking right now at the launch site here in the Guyana Space Center, located in the French Guyana in Kourou. Okay, this one is the ELA-4 launch pad, the Ariane Launch Assembly, if I remember correctly, or Ariane Launch Complex 4. Yeah, so this one is pretty newly built as well. So we are going to see that as well. And if you even see, there's some slight differences between this rocket in comparison to before. You can see, I think from my observation there, it has some slight height increase. So probably I'm wrong on previous video. I mean from the previous statement that I did before, but it's okay. Okay, and if you notice on the slide canted on the nose cone, if you notice that one, okay, let me see. I'm closing the other tab so it's not going to disrupt the experience here. Okay, if you see just before the slide canted or slanted to the facing to the core stage there, which actually pretty aerodynamically is very sound. looks like arch bow bow arrow there. Okay, you can see there's some slide of, how do I describe this, like a, okay, like there's basically like a gray area there, basically separating between the nose cone and also solid rocket booster, so they make it pretty clear. And if you actually see there's basically there's also, I suspect, also might have some kind of engineering camera as well to check out whether or not it's actually operational, whether it's done its operation pretty well. So this is the current view right now. You can see in the Guyana Space Center, it should be by now morning there. So yeah, this is daytime launch in case you want to know. So pretty interesting as well. And yeah, I guess rather than wasting too much time, I will give you just a little bit quick brief how do I say, just a brief breakdown about this Ariane 64 Block 2 rocket that we are watching right now. The solid rocket boosters are attached to the side of the core stage there. That one is actually P160C. That one is the upgraded version from the previous P120C. Okay, so and just to give you a little bit of information, Amazon, you can say that Amazon really responsible on pushing the Ariane space, and especially the Avio, pushing them for the upgrade. So this is a good thing. Maybe the only one good side things when they are willing paying customers. So instead we got slightly more powerful rockets here, and I believe it could also be very beneficial for future space science mission as well, or future satellites mission. So this is one of the good thing, because of that they decided to just upgrade it, and that P160C lit born here, and now were made and attached together with the Ariane base Ariane stuff there. You can see attached on the side of the core stage there. And it's for this flight, this is the 4 solid rocket boosters there. P160C for today will replace the P120C, usually being used on the typical flight. Okay, and this one added 1 meters more height in comparison to the P120C. Okay, and in case you want to know, P actually stands for powder. Also the same can be said with the French. And 120 previously is actually the target before, when they did that kind of development for the propellant load. And the final one on the previous baseline is P120C. It turns out to be 128 metric tons. And now this one upgraded to P160C. This one added 40 more metric tons, with the P160C now basically 168 metric tons of the propellant load inside the solid rocket boosters there. And also another information that I can give you as well is that the C actually stands for the common, which is basically what it can be used together side by side. Let's say, for example, you want to use it for Vega launches as well. No worries, you can just replace on the first stage with this P160C, and it's still going to function just as much as it wants to be as well. So yeah, that's why the Vega C actually called as C, Vega Common. Oh no, Vega Consolidated. Ah yeah, I tend to get very confused with the common and consolidated stuff. So apology from my side. I hope you don't mind about this. And we are still looking at the launch pad here. And yeah, this is okay. Just slightly a little bit of boring here, but it's okay. And also one of the clear visible upgrade you can also see is, just like I mentioned, there's a clear separator between nose cone part and also the propellant part as well of the SRB. So you can see there's like the gray area there, basically indicating where's the rocket going and whatnot. So this is one of the things that we know so far. And also, as usual on the first stage, okay, on the core stage there first, and the rest of it other than the SRBs, the first stage and the upper stage uses the hydrolox propellant, which is the liquid oxygen as the oxidizer, as the oxidizer, and the liquid hydrogen as the fuel for this flight. And yeah, both of these are super cool. For the liquid oxygen, usually it will operate around negative 186 degrees Celsius. For the liquid hydrogen, it will be negative 254 degrees Celsius. So yeah, it's pretty cold, very very cold. It's going to create very nasty frostbite if you even dare to go very near with it. So not an option. You don't want that to at the same time. Okay, and as well, because usually the reason why they use the hydrolox propellant is that in terms of the specific impulse, it's actually pretty much clearly better than, let's just say, with the other kinds of propellants that's being used. That's up until the liquid methane being used for the flight. Yeah, nowadays alternatively liquid methane also can be used on part, just with this slight trade-off of slightly lower specific impulse, not even reaching 400 plus specific seconds of the specific impulse if you try to use this on vacuum in comparison to the liquid hydrogen version. But otherwise, liquid methane is much more denser, and you can actually pack more you can basically pack the same amount of the propellant. Let's just say this kind of height, you can actually make it much smaller, much compact, and still deliver exactly what you want. Although there is some complicated things in part as well. For example, you still don't even take account of that kind of aerodynamic shear and whatnot, so, and resistance here and there. So another one. And the weather right now, wind speed is 1 kilometers per hour. Cloud cover, both cloud cover and precipitation is 0%. So it's still go for the launch. Pretty calm weather there in Kourou. So this is one of the things that we would like to see as well. And we are still waiting. Okay, we are still waiting in for anytime soon as well. Okay. So anyhow, we also what I would like to tell is that on the first stage, it's actually powered by the Vulcan 2.1. That one is basically just, you can say, some kind of upgrade from the already upgraded Vulcan 2, which is also upgraded from the first original Vulcan, first used on the Ariane 5G, and also its G Plus variant as well. And then eventually on the ECA variant, Ariane 5 ECA variant, eventually they used the, how do I say, eventually they upgraded to the Vulcan 2 for much better efficiency and whatnot as well. Yeah, I think also there are some kind of preparations here and there as well. That's why you hear just a little bit weird stuff, but I mean, that's why I do hear some weird stuff, and you can see some kind of weird signal degradation here and there. That's pretty normal. Okay, and I'm going to give you just a little bit of stuff as well. It uses the Vulcan 2.1, and if there's anything, there's one major differences between the between the Vulcan 2 and the upgraded Vulcan 2.1. So the differences from what I know. Okay, maybe just give me a little bit of time. Okay, just give me a little bit of time. Yeah. So here I'm going to show you. Okay. So this is the block 2 specifically that will be going for the flight, and apparently even the Vinci engine also were upgraded. Okay, the increased thrust for the enhanced Vinci engine on the upper stage, it increased to the 200 kilonewtons, basically if it uses the pounds per force square, it will be around 45,000, but from my calculation it should have been around 20. It should have delivered around 22,000 kilograms, or around 22,000, or around 22 metric tons. And this one will expectedly going to increase the capacity to 2 metric tons, or around 4,400 pounds to the lower Earth orbit, using this upgraded version of the Block 2, especially on the Ariane 64. Yeah, and apparently P160C booster, the development began in 2022, and also as the result of the Amazon Leo literally just pay them pretty good, tons of upgrade, to the point that, well, they decided to just do this anyway. And basically that's another it. Okay, and for the Block 3, this one will be coming soon, but we don't know whether or not this will be a thing. It will be for the Phobos prototype of a highly optimized black upper stage. So basically they are going, they wanna think of an idea by replacing the metal tanks with the lighter linerless carbon fiber reinforced polymer. This one as well going to add another more payload mass, but we don't know whether or not it still will be going. But otherwise, let's go. I'm going to show you another one here as well. This is the Vulcan. This is Vulcan 2, but it should be plus minus similar, just with some kind of upgrades. One of the main upgrades that I can tell you about this Vulcan 2 is that Vulcan 2.1 uses on the Ariane 6. The current Ariane 6 right now is that it does not have any kind of igniter, so it relies on the ground, ground igniter there. Basically, something that's you used to burn down all of this hydrogen gas build up. They actually relied on that kind of torch, the ground torch, to ignite this Vulcan 2.1 instead of the typical Vulcan 2, where it does have its own kind of dedicated igniter, and it does save hundreds of kilograms of mass needed for the flight. So that's why they ditched that kind of stuff, and it turns out they thought that they don't need it anyways, as long the flight's not, as long it can fly pretty well, better not to do that. So I think that's the process why they decided to just ditch that igniter after the Vulcan 2. So yeah, original Vulcan and Vulcan 2, they have their own dedicated igniter, but their experience decided, well, we don't need this anymore. So Ariane 6 have to ditch that dedicated igniter on the Vulcan 2.1, so it's just operate is what it is. And this one here, it operated using the gas generator cycle, also known as the open cycle rocket engine. I will explain to you later on what all of that means later on, so don't worry, stay back. We will give you slightly as well update what you need to know. And yeah, the mixture ratio from what I know is that even though we don't know the 2.1, but it should be plus minus similar to the mixture ratio to the Vulcan 2, which is the liquid hydrogen part 6.1 by 1 part of the liquid. Yeah, liquid oxygen part is the 6.1 by 1 liquid hydrogens of the mixture ratio part. So it's pretty oxidizer rich, so it can cool down the rocket engines, and plus you don't want to make it run too hot. If it runs way too hot, anything can happen. The rocket engines might, it will literally melt by itself. So that's why they have to do that. And the nozzle ratio on this flight is the 580 it's 58.2 by 1. This one also, you can see why the rocket engines there, it has bigger expansion ratio on the rocket nozzle there, is that because it's also being flown up until almost 10 minutes, or by then it's already in space. So that's why they have to use these very bigger rocket engines. Otherwise, you can say that if you want to approximate how small the rocket engines will be, it will be something more like, let me see, I think it will be something more like, give me a little bit of seconds, it will be something more like, yeah, more like this. It should have been this kind of small, but due to the expansion ratio, especially going to space where the atmospheric pressure no longer exists in the space. So the rocket exhaust flame, it will expand bigger and bigger and bigger. So that's something you don't really want that as well, because you will lose a tons of thrust efficiency and effectiveness. So around how many tens of percent, it's really very significant. It can be the difference between wasting too much fuel and not being able to put the payload into the space, to the orbit. Yeah, very much sorry there. Or it can put more and guarantee to the orbit. So that's why they have to make the rocket nozzles there pretty big. And otherwise, another one as well for the Vinci rocket engines, especially on the enhanced version. Okay, the first stage is literally called the lower liquid propulsion module, and the second stage, upper stage, is the upper liquid propulsion module. This one would be for the Vinci rocket engines. So yeah, originally for this Vinci rocket engines, it's actually already been discussed, and even they sort of, even on the ESA meeting, the European Space Agency's meeting, they already decided, even around the late 90s. Yeah, the development began in 1998. Originally they want to use it for Ariane 5 midlife evolution, but yeah, like this one, Ariane 5, originally they have this kind of another upgrade as the transition to the Ariane 6, but eventually they decided to just scrap it. So the Vinci rocket engines are now being used by Ariane 6 instead of the Ariane 5 midlife evolution. Okay, so you can see this is how it looks like. Okay, this one is just one part of the rocket engines, but full schematic is basically there, available there. Okay, and this one is basically, if I remember correctly, this one is the cumulative work of the HM7 rocket engines, especially the original variant and also the 7B, the most used variant of the HM7 rocket series. Okay, first used on the Ariane, if I remember, it was first used on the Ariane 4 or Ariane 3. No, it's at HM7B. It was used even as late as Ariane 2, but if we have to be a little bit pedantic, Ariane 3 is the first before the Ariane 2. So it was basically first used in 1984 for the M7B, but for the M7 original, uh, eventually retroactively called as the M7A, first used on the Ariane 1, first use even on the first flight on the in 1979. So you can say it's pretty old rocket engines here. But Vinci is sort of like the newest continuation evolution, and there is one differences that you can see. M7 rocket series, it uses the gas generator cycle, but the Vinci is different. Vinci, it uses the expander cycle. And yeah, expander cycle, maybe I'm also going to explain later on what even does that mean. Don't worry, I will explain to you in the nutshell. I'm not going to go too long because I myself not really 100% qualified talking about the rocket engineering behind this. Yeah, I'm just a computer science person, but whatever. I still want to talk about this, why not? So we do it. So in terms of the mixture ratio, so there is some slight difference. M7 rocket series, liquid oxygen by the liquid hydrogen part, it's 5:1, but for the Vinci it's slightly a bit more. It's around 6.1:1, like that. Okay. And there is also one major upgrade on the upper stage that Vinci uses. It actually able to use the APU, the auxiliary propulsion unit, nothing to do with the auxiliary power unit. This one, it performs two important functions. The first one, the APU can heat up small amounts of propellant inside apparently a 3D printed gas generator and inject it back into the tank to repressurize them. And then second, the APU also can produce a low level of thrust. It's either to ensure that the floating propellants in the tanks will be able to be settled down to the tank before the ignition of the Vinci engine, or to make some kind of final or fine orbital adjustment that's quite similar to the thruster, and it's actually able to reduce overall weight. And yeah, they don't have to carry this helium tank. In other words, they actually uses the autogenous pressurization, which is very very genius if you even consider this as well. So yeah, and meanwhile, I'm also going to teach you just a little bit, before we go on the final picture. Okay, this is the rocket engines here. So on this launch, we will actually use it, but I think you can actually read this by yourself if you are very interested. But otherwise, here's how the rocket engines in the principle in a nutshell. Okay. So for the Vulcan 2.1, it uses the gas generator cycle, while on the Vinci upper stage engine, it uses the expander cycle. Maybe you're wondering, wow, this is a little bit of confusing stuff in there. And don't worry, I can break it down way simpler than what do you think it will be. Just for a little bit in a nutshell, the gas generator cycle, it has its pre-burner chamber where a small portion amount of the fuel and the oxidizer were burned together. The very slow burning, just enough to move this turbine, so you can respectively move the turbine for the fuel and also oxidizer. So eventually these two can mix together inside the combustion chamber. But before that, some of it depends. It can either be the fuel or oxidizer. It can actually be covered inside the cooling wall engine of there to exchange the heat using the heat exchanger to ensure that the rocket engine is not going to melt itself by the time it's ignited. And yeah, some part of it also practically burn mostly inside the combustion chamber as well. Don't worry, that's also another part. So, and because it's already expanded to the gas one, from liquid to gas here. So technically you kind of enhance the efficiency, so it's burning inside here, combustion chamber, and then exit through the throat, and then it's ignited outside the nozzle, and some small portion part of this already burned inside the pre-burner chamber. It's basically will be exhausted out from the exhaust. Okay, this one only produce small amount of thrust, not enough to move anything else. Very small pressure because only small propellant being burned there. So this is the gas generator cycle used on the Vulcan 2.1 for this mission today. And for the expander cycle, which is what Vinci Engines uses, this one is quite smart. I can say very smart, even though there is one. Yeah, if I want to tell you, the gas generator cycle, okay, it has one disadvantage from what apparently I can see, is that it's not very thrust efficient, because this otherwise very efficient stuff just burn out to the exhaust. So yeah, but otherwise, even the most popular rocket engines in the entire whole world nowadays, the Merlin 1D, it's actually gas generator cycle and surprisingly very efficient. So don't let this kind of disadvantage fools you. If it's designed very well, even you can design rocket engines way more efficient than all of these three together. But it does not mean it's entirely the best one. But however, if you're able to push the design envelope limit, eventually expander cycle or stage combustion cycle eventually will able to surpass it. But for now, in real world, gas generator cycles surprisingly are much efficient in the liquid rocket engines there. And the expander cycle here, which I would like to talk about, the Vinci upper stage rocket engines. This one is actually pretty smart in design. Okay, so if I remember correctly, the fuel and the oxidizer as usual were actually pumped down. Okay, but some part of the oxidizer or fuel, depending on which one, either of this one, it will be preheated out a little bit, so it can move that turbine, okay, as well. And also as usual, some part of it will be moving inside the heat exchanger. Some of it will ignite just a little bit, so it can heat up that gas, so it can properly turn that turbine, bring in more fuel than usual, and then it will be able to ignite. And some part of the already pre-burned stuff there, okay, even though it doesn't look very apparent, but it's more like a preheated gas at this point. Some of it, after it's already being moved by the turbine, which uses the waste exhaust gas there, eventually it's also going to move back inside the nozzle, inside the combustion chamber, and then it will be burned together into one pieces. So you can say expander cycle is also one of the most efficient rocket engines. Very genius. It just uses the waste exhaust heat gas just to move that turbine. Yeah, some of it just burn a little bit after it's move here about the, how do I say, the heated area there. Just move and then burn down. Okay, but there is also one apparent disadvantage. That is, number one is that it has some problem with the square cube laws, some kind of the thrust stuff there. As you try to scale this up, it can be pretty challenging, but it's not unfeasible. It's actually pretty feasible. In fact, from what I know, usually expander cycle were actually used on the upper stage, but also there is one unique case that actually able to be applied for the first stage rocket engine. One of the best example that I can say is the LE-7 and also LE-9 rocket engines. There uses by JAXA for their previously for their H2 and then eventually evolved into H2A and H2B, and now with the H3 rocket series overall. So it's not infeasible, it's actually pretty feasible and can be, and you can actually build a pretty good rocket engine's design. And one of the best thing, if you see expanded cycle in comparison to the staged combustion cycle, is that you don't have to deal too much with the burner or even too much dedicated turbines, which can increase not only complexities but also chance of blowing and screwing up this design, because you know the turbo pump, it must be very exactly precisely manufactured, number one. Number two is that it must turn and move exactly at the same rotation that it needs to move this fuel and also oxidizer as well. If one of it is just move slightly slower, the mixture ratio will be wrong, and there's going to be much fuel wastage behind it, and you're not going to be able to go to the orbit if that's happened. So that's why it is to be built pretty carefully. But otherwise, that's it. The lessons already end here. And yeah, and this is how it looks like. Okay, this is the Arianespace Twitter/X account. You can see there. This is the picture, how it looks. Let me see. Can I make it better? Yeah, I think maybe this is the better one that I can do. Okay. This is the only thing that I can do. This is how the Ariane 6 T4 Block 2 looks like when it's actually rolled out. You can see for the 2 days flight. Very beautiful, very magnificent, very cool. Look at that. Don't you like it? Ah, this is even better. I should have just show you guys here. This is how it should looks like. Okay, so pretty cool. You can see there. Just some slight height advantage there, but otherwise doesn't change too much of the rocket looks. Just maybe slightly more aerodynamic than usual, so that's why. Okay, and otherwise that's basically it. And right now we are at less than T-5 minutes before the flight. And yeah, looks like I need to see if the countdown is still continuing. Okay, so give me a little bit of moment. Maybe they already probably begin their part as well. Okay, let me see. Yeah, they actually did. Oh. Okay. Okay, so basically that's it. We already have the call out. Okay, call out by the launch director. So I'm just going to open it up. I thought there is no live, but otherwise looks good. So this is the launch. I'm using the international rocket launches stream here, so it should be fine as well. And right now it's standing is the rocket itself and the payload. Inside the payload fairing is actually 36 Amazon Leo there inside there. So yeah, and instead of the usual 32, and the flight is moving forward. And as you can see there, if you actually notice the torch burn there, you can see on the side of it, that's how it's going to ignite the Vulcan 2.1. Is instead of the Vulcan 2 where the torch only just ground torch only just function to just remove that byproduct how do I say, not even harmful, like the byproduct hydrogen gas there. So this one actually function as both for igniter and also both to remove that kind of byproduct hydrogen gas buildup that could jeopardize the entire whole flight. Okay, otherwise looks like we can go as well. Get ready for the flight. And yes, in case you want to know, you are not mistaken. This is actually the raw feed. Okay, raw feed without any kinds of Ariane, without any kinds of Ariane space feed, or even the European Space Agency's feed there. So we are looking at the independent side here. But I hope everything looks fine. Okay, and the flight is still continuing, and we are still waiting for the launch. And look at that, it's still standing pretty well there. Otherwise, it looks pretty good. And here we go, we still go for the flight. Get ready as we are going at T-minus 2 minutes. Get ready on my mark. As the flight is still going in, still on the countdown. T-minus 2 minutes, 120 seconds mark. Okay, and just in case you want to know what's happening before in the few minutes ago, is that there is basically like the rocket engine's nozzle swinging right there, right? That one is actually to check out if the rocket engines can be properly not only swirled but also to ensure that everything moving is fine, because it needs to control itself in the mid-flight as well. Otherwise, it's going to destroy the whole operations. And here inside the Jupiter Control Center there, the basically European Space Agency Avio, I believe Arianespace, and much more personnel are now going out for the flight. Okay, get ready. Okay. Okay. T-minus 1 minute. Get ready for the flight. T-minus 48 seconds. As the flight is still getting ready in. And by now, the computer on board inside the Ariane 6 should have already gone into the internal power mode on, and should be ready for the pre-programmed flight as well. T-minus 30 seconds as the rocket is getting ready, and torch igniter by now should be ready as well, including the water sound suppression garden system there to muffle out that otherwise pretty very loud sound. Okay, and looks like otherwise, yeah, looks like we see from this authorization, the launch ground control system there automatically declared hold on at T-minus 1 minutes and 5 seconds. Looks like apparently there is some kind of hold there due to the various reason. It can be due to the off nominal temperature. It could have been due to the ground electrical system, whatever is it. But otherwise, we are still waiting for new information. We are still waiting in, so don't worry. Otherwise, we will hear in if there's any more information from the launch director or the DDO in this case for this flight we are getting ready in. Otherwise, we will open the music and I'm still going to stand by. Don't worry, we are not going anywhere. We just wait for any kind of information just in case. But just to give you another quick update from the last time, the weather looks pretty excellent and very good for the launch. And basically the wind speed is 1 kilometers per hour, and both for the precipitation and also the cloud cover is 0%. So the flight is still persevering and going excellent for the flight. But otherwise, another we still have another 20, 28 minutes or so, so they still can check whatever that still keep holding it. If anything happens, they still can double check. Okay, so apparently the countdown hold actually appears due to the range violation. So range violation means it can actually means anything else. In this case, it could have been due to the intrusion by anyone, if not on the ground, usually by the sea. Maybe there's some kind of bots here and there just moving in without any kinds of authorization. They just move without any kinds of consideration. So to give them sometimes some of the stuff, especially the I believe the French armed forces, especially the Coast Guard part, they have to they if it's on the sea, they basically have to tell tell whoever's that actually enters inside the launch violation zone. Basically, they have to tell, hey, you cannot enter here. There's going to be some rocket launches. You're going to get smacked by this rocket if you enter in by the time of launch. So basically, that's the procedure. But otherwise, if this range violation happens on the land, well, obviously there's going to be some police pro- probably found that person and then or that group and then just said, hey, turn around, don't go to this area. This is very dangerous. It's your big chance not only you're going to be whacked by this rocket, maybe you'll become part of, well, casualty if you enter this stuff. So sorry, you cannot enter in. Sorry, s- sorry, sorry, my man. Just go around. So basically, that's what they're currently doing right now. So the countdown hall is still ongoing, but otherwise looks pretty good. Okay, and we are still waiting it. In the meantime, however, let's relax, chill a little bit, as I've already exhausted as much as rocket and aerospace kind of basic knowledge as much as possible. So this is it. I'm going to relax for now until we have more information. Here I'm just as much as you do. That's the only information that I got here. In case you want to know why there is no kind of commentary here and there, it's because this is the raw, how do I say, the raw stream feed, raw broadcast feed directly straight to the media production that manage this Arianespace and European Space Agency's channel. So basically, international rocket launches somehow got this one pretty raw, and I really thank to this channel for providing it. So this is why we are able to see this kind of independent stuff here. Yeah. So at the end of the day, well, this is not a very easy task as well to even find this kind of stuff. So moving forward, if there's not much else that I want to cover, especially if I have lots of time in my hand, I'm going to use this raw fit from now on. So hopefully you can understand. And yeah, as usual, the countdown is still holding, but otherwise we might still be able to go for now. And right now, the international rocket launches already update this header there. The countdown is still holding, and we are still awaiting the new T minus zero. Okay, in case you want to know where do we get this kind of T minus terminology, is that because the T minus, actually T stands for terminal, to some extent countdown as well. Terminal countdown. That's how we got. While the L also being used in place with the T minus as well. L minus, and after that the subsequent plus something like that. L actually stands for launch, and to some extent launch countdown. But these two actually can be used pretty interchangeably as far as I know. But it's mostly pretty popular with the T minus, so we use the T minus instead of the L minus, L plus, and instead of the L plus, we use T plus as well. So that's why. And otherwise, that's basically it. We are still waiting for the countdown for the countdown to resume again after the range violation happens due to the unauthorized I believe unauthorized trespassing by, it can be anything. It could be a group of people or just one person just entering either by the sea or by the land, or could also be by drone as well. Who knows? Who know? Or even the plane itself. Who knows as well? We don't know. We don't know much, but otherwise, if this can be settled out within less than 20 minutes, something like that, they might be able to resume the launch countdown as well. So we're still waiting. Countdown is still holding, and we are waiting for the new T minus 0. And yeah, that's basically it. I've already exhausted my knowledge as much as possible of what I know. So why not we just relaxing and just waiting, and let's listen into the music, shall we? So thank you so much. We are waiting. And yeah, I'm going to shut myself up in and just listen to the music and relax. And yeah, just in case for your information, I'm not going anywhere. Will be back soon means that I will be back with commentary, so that's why. So stay tuned. Okay, whatever. That was pretty loud sound. That's weird. Okay, that's weird. So sorry about that. I did not plan that to happen. It's something, randomly happen, especially on the raw live broadcast slash stream there. Also not, also really not under the control of international rocket launchers. This one is basically directly from the media production that handled this Arianespace slash European Space Agency live stream. So yeah, this is basically not our fault. This is the media production part, just do whatever they want, and we are still waiting. So yeah, let's relax, as I'm going to save my commentary for later on when the rockets will be able to launch, if there is one. But if not, otherwise we will wait for another better day. Could be 24-hour cycle, who knows? We will see that soon. Okay, so another information that I get, especially from the next spaceflight Discord there, yeah, because I do lurk in to this Discord discussion here, is that they're still attempting to recycle the launch countdown. So we will see the ground controller and also, yeah, the ground equipment and also the rocket rockets need to be synced back together for the launch. So that's why. So we are still waiting in. And maybe I would like you to listen music directly from international rocket launches. Don't worry, this is okay. Not copyrightable, not a copyright issue from what I know. Okay, or maybe yeah, I'll just open up. Plus, sometimes I actually like this music selection by IRL as well. So why not? Yeah, and I just shorten up the international rocket launches with IRL, so don't worry about that. Okay, so we approximately still have around 10 minutes before the launch window close. We see how they will manage this kind of countdown hold. So we are waiting in. So yeah, I'm going to save my speech for later on. So I need to take some breaks here and there. Oh,
Attention DDO. Suite à retour au vert, le nouvel gyrovisé sera 12h 21 minutes 52 secondes. Le TD redémarrera à 12h 16 minutes et 52 secondes.
okay, looks like they have the new T-0. Let's listen in. Okay, so yeah, looks like they have a little bit of leeway up until 5 minutes plus before they no longer can recycle anything else. So let's listen in again and let's look at the header if by the international rocket launches if there's new information what what kind of time that they are setting in for the launch. Oh, okay. So basically, the launch window time, the new time, it's basically 8 seconds before the launch window times end, which will be on the UTC time. This is what from what I get right now. This one someone translated here on the next space flight Discord here. The new T-0 time is 12 20, 12 hours 21 minutes and 52 seconds universal time coordinate, which is corresponding to my local time here because we are 8 hours ahead of the universal time coordinate in Sarawak and Borneo. It's 8 20 8:21:52 p.m. Oh, apparently just 30 seconds before the end of the window. Okay, so basically we have correction there. Other than that, if it's violated more, the they have to scrap this and go for the tomorrow, but hopefully they don't have to because it's going to be a huge missed opportunity to properly test out the launch. But well, we see. We'll look how it's look like. And yeah, the launch cycle has already continued. Here you can see on the timer dashboard provided by the International Rocket Launchers IRL. It's T minus 6 minutes and 45 seconds before the launch. Yeah, before the launch. So we will see if everything is fine. Okay, so I've already getting ready in, but otherwise, yeah, I will save myself. And this is the view for the launch director here, the launch operation director from what I get, the DDO there.
À tous de DDO, attention pour la reprise du temps des comptes.
Okay, looks like T minus 6 minutes before the launch.
Top, début de la séquence finale lanceur.
Okay, so now the automated launch sequence has already restarted back again.
Gyrovisé, 12h 21 minutes 52 secondes.
Okay, and otherwise, if there's anything more happening, they will have to scrap this to other time. Could be tomorrow, could be anything else. But otherwise, I hope we don't have any kind of another more delay here and there. So yeah, we're still waiting in. And yeah, in case you are listening to the music, that one is actually provided by I actually open up the music. You can actually check in the description if you're very interested to know. But otherwise, the rocket is still standing in. Okay, and get ready at T minus 5 minutes. Mark T minus 5 minutes before the flight. Okay, which will correspond around 300 seconds left before the flight. Okay, now T minus 4 minutes, which is right now will be, yeah, which right now will be less than 240 seconds. Wow, I don't know what's happening, but it's okay. Okay, otherwise it's still continuing in, and as you can see from the ground torch igniter, you can see that one is actually functioning as both function. One is to burn this byproduct gas that otherwise byproduct hydrogen gas build up. Otherwise, if you don't burn it up and you try to ignite it, it's going to cause lots of chaos and explosion, so you don't want that. And second of all, the ground torch igniter also, just like I said in the dam, also function as the igniter for the the most important essential igniter for the Vulcan 2.1, because unlike the Vulcan, the original Vulcan 1 and subsequently the upgrade Vulcan 2, which is both used on the Ariane 5, this one does not have any kind of dedicated igniters, which while it actually does save hundreds of kilograms of the mass, otherwise it really has to rely more on the ground ignition there. But because of that, it also meant that they have to be extremely careful. But otherwise, I can say that from the experience, usually rarely this kind of dedicated igniter really benefit the Vulcan rocket engine. So that's why probably it's the best decision that they can come up with, basically, to remove it so they can put more payloads, more satellites into the space. And otherwise, even though it looks a bit more shorter than the Ariane 5 in terms of height, otherwise it's still pretty powerful rocket. And I'm not going to lie to you, it's pretty powerful as well. And otherwise, we are getting ready in for the T minus 1 minute and 30 seconds. Mark T minus 1 minute and 30 seconds, 90 seconds left before the launch. And now, all of the personnels, including the Arianespace, Avio, well, and also I believe some from the Amazon representative for the Amazon Leo mission, they are going out to look at the launch from the balcony. Get ready for the T minus 1 minute. Get ready, 60 seconds. Mark T minus 60 seconds. And at this point, the launch cannot be cycled anymore. If anything else happened, they have to scrap this and bring this to another day. Could be as early as tomorrow, or could be any other day. But otherwise, I hope there's no more kind of weird. Okay, you can see the ground torch igniter is already on to burn this excess fuel, and also the small water garden sound suppression system has already started as well. T minus 26 seconds, get ready for the flight. And I've already stopped the music so we can focus on the flight. T minus 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, T minus 13, 12, 11, T minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, ignition of the Vulcan 2.1. And we have ignition of the SRBs and liftoff for this inaugural Ariane 64 Block 2 flight right now. You can see. And here we go, liftoff. Right now, the inaugural flight for the P160C boosters there. And liftoff. It has already done its, it has already done its roll maneuver as well. Okay, and otherwise this is it. You can listen in, and the rocket launch rumble can be heard from the sound here. T plus 44 seconds into the flight. Okay, by now she have already gone into the supersonic. Should be getting ready in for the max Q, maximum aerodynamic pressure, fully exerted on the launch on the rocket itself, according to the according to the peak mechanical stress on the atmospheric, and also to the velocities to the maximum peak of the rocket launch there. The more faster is it going to the certain atmosphere, the faster it will reach that max Q. And otherwise, here we go. The onboard camera inside that's basically attached to the rocket itself. You can see, otherwise it's look pretty good. Yeah, otherwise looks pretty good here. Okay, but otherwise, from what I can see, the height looks pretty same, but just that nose cone is basically a little bit steeper there. Otherwise, should be good. Here we can see the streak of the lights itself by the byproduct of the burning of the SRB and also the core stage Vulcan 2.1, the SRB P160C, and by now she have already burned out. Okay, she have already burned out of the P160C for SRBs there. Get ready for the SRB side booster separation. Get ready in, as we are going to see that soon. And here we go. It's clearly visible. And we have the separation of the SRBs there. And we are preparing ourselves, looking on the camera, their onboard camera, and you can see that's how it separates. Okay, so looks like the barbecue mod for the barbecue roll maneuver has already begun as well for the rocket itself, to ensure that it's not going to be too one-sided hit there that could cause lots of damage, even propellant loss as well. And we are getting ready in for the pellet fairing separation. Get ready in. And inside the pellet fairing, obviously there is some kind of okay. I will explain later on. And the altitude right now is 137 kilometers. Okay, get ready in, and you can see there it's flexing. And if you see inside there is basically some kind of mufflers there. There's basically to muffle out all of this acoustic and also vibration inside there, especially in its first operational flight. That's very important. That's why they have to pack it up together, because otherwise if they don't, it's going to be a tons of problem into the flight. And as you can see, this is the majestic view of the backdrop of our planet Earth, and the flight is still continuing as usual. But otherwise, it's a little bit hard to watch out for. Yeah, a little bit hard to watch out the telemetry here, but otherwise, so far so good. The downrange should have already gone into hundreds of kilometers as well. Okay, and trajectory is nominal. And as you can see, the cooling side as well, doing its job pretty well into the flight. And the altitude is still rising up, almost 200 kilometers. Altitude is 190 kilometers. Velocity, I cannot read that, but otherwise should be around 2 or 3 kilometers per second, I believe so. Should be it. And altitude is still rising, getting ready for 200 kilometers altitude mark 200 kilometers altitude. And that's basically it. This is the barbecue roll so far, just to keep the rocket cool, and also to give this rocket some kinds of stability as well. So that's why. And soon we will see the main engine cut off, or the Vulcan extinction, as yeah, I apologize. We suddenly have some kind of weird signal interruption on my side, but otherwise it should be good. And this is the animation flight right now. Otherwise, I will reiterate once more time. The rocket velocity right now is 4.2122 kilometers per second, and the distance from the crew is almost 900 kilometers, or around 890 kilometers, and the altitude right now is 238 kilometers. And you can see it's looking pretty good. Okay, and the operation looks pretty good as well. You can see on the on the very
Il
big
reste 1 minute de
left
propulsion Vulcain.
left side there is the animation, and the bottom right side is the almost real-time camera, just 20 seconds of delay. And otherwise we heard around 1 minute left before the extinction, or before the main engine cutoff of the Vulcan first stage rocket engines on the LLPM, the lower, if I remember that one, LLPM, lower liquid propulsion module. Okay. Okay, and the naval station around, where is it? Oh, it doesn't properly give us that information, but otherwise should be good.
Trajectoire nominale.
Okay, trajectory is nominal, and otherwise I don't know why the sound feels a bit muffled, but otherwise I can follow. And the first, get ready for the main gen cutoff, and then after that, which will be the first stage separation, followed by the Vinci rocket engine ignition on the upper stage, the second stage. Okay, and the Vinci has, okay, and the Vulcan 2.1 has already cut off, extinction. Okay, first stage separation and ignition of the Vinci upper stage rocket engines. This one is the enhanced version. So okay, so should have already started. Look at that bottom right corner, and that one, the stage preservation, the first stage has already begun. Okay, and the upper stage, the Vinci upper stage engine has already started. Okay, and the acquisition signal on the naval station, which one is it? I cannot read it, but otherwise it's okay. It's fine, and you can see there, looks pretty beautiful. Pretty beautiful shot there. And the second stage, the upper stage of the Vinci upper stage rocket engine, this one is enhanced. If I remember, this one is 200 kilonewton instead of the usual 180 kilonewton. This one, and this one, if I remember correctly, this one should add another, yeah, should add another 4 more metric metric, yeah, four more metric tons of the for the propellant. And the auxiliary propulsion unit has already begun its operation as well. And so that's basically what we want to hear. Okay, otherwise it should be good. And I'm very, and apology if you cannot hear the call out of it. I don't know what's happening, but otherwise it should be good. Okay, maybe I can compensate it by temporarily sliding this up to 100% to my main system volume. I will lower it down again later on if there's any need. Hopefully you can hear it this time. And the animation right now show, and even the view right now, the main view has on board the camera on the second stage right now. Right now already shown on the left screen, but now already going in. And naval station shipborne, yeah, acquisition signal. Otherwise, this is the operation right now. Should be good. And it's actually ignited for, the operation lasted for around 900 seconds, which the 900 seconds, if I translate this, it will be around 15 minutes of the rocket engine's operation combustion cycle there. So that's basically it. And you can see the on-screen map on the right bottom corner there, basically showing the okay. I don't know what's happening, why my connection's losing again, but otherwise, just to give you a bit there, quick tidbit there. Okay, the right bottom there is showing the map there, basically showing what's the progress behind it. And yeah, that's basically going to be up until, how many separation events? I believe 12. tense like that. Yeah, but it is what it is. But otherwise, it shall be good. And at some point, the Ariane 6 upper stage and also the 36 Amazon Leo LE. Okay, the Santa Maria ground ground con- ground control has already acquired the signal, so that's another good one as well. And we are going to see that soon as well. Okay, and at some point the Ariane 6 upper stage and also its 36 Amazon Leo LE-03 satellites constellation will passes us by in Borneo, but that one is long after it's in coast phase flight, ballistic coast phase flight, aka when the rocket engines on the upper stage not igniting anything, not doing any kind of job for the orbit, just to save more fuels and also to prioritize important mission as well. So that's why we are going to see that soon. And yeah, in case you want to know the the graph, especially for the orbit versus times as well, that one is actually pretty nominal. Don't worry about that. This one is one of the basic things in the orbit orbital mechanic law. That's basically detecting how, yeah, dictating how do you achieve the orbit, how do you achieve orbit insertion, especially the rocket propulsion stuff, with as little fuel as possible without adding too much fuel. And this is one of the optimization. You have to curve down this altitude. You have to keep burning it down a bit. Just go a little bit counterintuitive on the highest, almost the highest point, or the highest point as well. So you are able to achieve orbital velocities faster than ever, and also achieve that orbital trajectory as well. And right now the velocity is 7.7. No, no. The the rocket velocity right now is 6.79 kilometers per second. Okay, counting up 6.82 kilometers per second. And distance from Kourou is 3,579 kilometers. And the altitude is 204 kilometers. And still counting down, but however, this is pretty nominal. Don't worry about this. Eventually, at some point, when it reaches back around the highest altitude point again, the which mark as the apogee, that's where it's going to fire one more time of the Vinci upper stage rocket engines to do its kind of operation as well. And as you can see how it brings up, you can see all 36 fully on board this mission. If I remember the the payload mass for each of the Amazon Leo, I counted it's approximately around 573 plus something like that. But just for simplification, it will be around 575, something like that. So if I count 575, okay, so a little bit problem with the raw streams. Obviously, international rocket launchers IRL and myself cannot control this part.
Il reste 2 minutes de propulsion ainsi avant la première extinction.
Okay, getting ready in for the burnout. Okay, but otherwise I'll still keep it.
Trajectoire nominale.
Okay, and then it's not going to be long after before the Vinci upper stage. It's going to have its second gen cut off Seco 1, or basically the end of boost 1 of this mission. Get ready in. And the velocity right now is pretty good, 7.35 kilometers per second. Distance from Kourou is 400 and almost 400. Okay, 4,400 kilometers plus 4,004, almost 4,500 kilometers, and counting up. And altitude is slightly dipping, but however still nominal, 167 kilometers. As long as still okay, so around should be around 2 or 1 minutes before the burnout of the Vinci upper stage. So far, looking so good.
Pilotage calme et fin du mode barbecue.
Okay, still in barbecue mode right now. That one is to cool down the satellites and also the upper stage and also the rocket engine. So it has even heating there, and also to ensure that it's not going to heat up too much that it can damage the components and also causing the outgas of the cryogenic fuel there. So it's pretty important. Right now, getting ready in for the shutdown, for the cutoff of the Vinci upper stage engine there, or the end of boost one for the, aka the extinction of Vinci upper stage rocket engines. Let's listen in.
Première extinction Vinci.
Okay, by now.
Orbite correcte.
Okay, so Vinci extinction of Vinci upper stage rocket engine has already done, and the orbit is nominal and correct, precisely right on the graph, right on the time. I mean, slightly earlier, but
Le pilotage est
right
calme.
right on the orbital target, precisely on the time. This is what we want to hear so far. That's what we want to hear. And so far, so good. The orbital velocity, right now, it reaches its minimum orbital velocities around 7.6 kilometers per second. The distance from the Kourou is 5,300 kilometers and counting up. And the altitude is 100, yeah, sorry, not really intention, 156 kilometers and slightly counting down, but otherwise pretty stable and nominal. This is what we want to hear. And so far, it looks like the enhanced Vinci rocket engines able to do its job pretty well. And as you can see, thanks to the autogenous pressurization design, thanks to the onboard APU, the auxiliary, as a result of the power auxiliary propulsion unit, you can see it's pretty light. It doesn't have to bring too much, and even that small thing there is basically just for the heating of the gas generator cycle there, if I remember correctly, heating up the propellant later on.
La propulsion est nominale et acquisition de la télémesure par la station de Osagel.
Okay, and now Osagel in France right now already acquired the signal for the launch, for the upper stage, and also for the payload itself as well. This is pretty good. And then after the Osagel, we are not going to hear for that much, and then eventually we'll be going out, from it before eventually it reaches to the new Norcia, located in the tip corner of the Australia, and then later on will be acquired by signal by, yeah, around the New Zealand. I cannot read that, but otherwise it should be fine, good and fine as well. And that's basically it. This is a little bit coverage from me, and so far I think it's pretty fair for us to take a rest. Okay.
La propulsion est nominale et fin de visibilité de la télémesure par la station de Santa Maria des Açores.
Okay, so now I can lower down this one. So pretty good, pretty loud sound, but
Pilotage calme.
okay. So looks like they've already fixed the problem on the media production side. So now this is it. We are now in the ballistic coast phase flight. Not going to do too much here in the meantime, so I guess why not we take a bit of break here before we'll be back again for the second. Before we are back again for the second boost mission here, aka the second engine start number 2. We will hear that soon as well for the Vinci upper stage rocket engines, which will finalize the orbit trajectory and finalize the orbital insertion as well, before eventually it will able to deploy all of the 36 Amazon Leo satellites there, If I remember, it's going to be like 3 or 2 each, like that, but should be around 3 each, if I remember, because there's 12 separation events that will be happening across,
Propulsion nominale, pilotage calme.
yeah, across journey on the point around the Americas, as you can see, especially when it's trespassing by to the Central America, you can see it's going to be separation event here and there, and also briefly as well, it's going to passes us by here in Sarawak, in Borneo as well. It's going to pass us by pretty well. I mean, for reference points, not
Approche
really that.
nominale,
It's not really that far away.
pilotage
By
calme.
some point, not going to be far away. It's basically in between Kuching, Cebu, something like that. Yeah, but but basically that's it. It's going to pass us by at some few tens of minutes into the flight, and yeah, that's it. And that's all. I've already explained very much enough here. I'm able to
La propulsion
become
est
my
nominale.
own launch commentator here, so why not?
Pilotage calme.
It's pretty interesting, isn't it? Pretty exciting. So yeah, thank you so much, everybody. We will be back soon and enjoy the, of course, first flight, shall we? And I will open the music, so enjoy this music section that I also choose as well. This one is literally copyright free. I can confirm no copyright issues so far. So just listen in and see you see, see you later on while you're still listening to the mission
La
control
propulsion est
loop
nominale.
here, especially by the DDO, the
Pilotage calme.
especially by, how do I say, by the DDO, by the launch director, if I remember correctly. Yeah, launch director operation there. So, or mission director operation. So we're going to see that soon as well. So thank you so much. We will be back, and take care. Stay safe. We
La
will be
propulsion est
back
nominale.
soon, and I will resume my speech here and there. I want to save it for a little bit later on. So yeah, thank you so much, everybody. See you soon. We'll be back in few tens of minutes.
Pilotage calme.
And for a bit of reference, I'm going to. Okay, so looks like it's already out from the Osagel, located in France. So for now, the rockets are not trackable for now, and all we can do is just waiting of signal from the Australia, from New Norcia, and especially from the New Zealand as well. I cannot read the name on the.
Fin de visibilité par la station d'Osagel et perte de la télémesure attendue.
Yeah,
Retour de la télémesure dans environ 28 minutes.
yeah, and because of that, I'm not going to be able to provide much here. It's a bit slightly boring. We are still costing out here and there, but it's pretty normal. That's basically for every exciting rocket launches. There must be some boring part as well. So yeah, so that's it. We are still waiting, and thank you so much. I believe if I check from the official Arianespace stream, I'm going to see how long they will actually just let us wait. Anyways, that's where I'm going to go back again later on. So yeah, we will be back again around for less than 40 minutes from now, around 39, 38 minutes. So we'll be right back. Yeah, so we will be right back again. So thank you so much. And see you soon. We will be back again with the live coverage. So thank you for your patronage and for being very patient. Yeah, I'm similarly going to go back as well to the stream, just similar to the Ariane space stream. So I'm setting that standard as well. So why not? Because I myself commentate this one for now, and plus there's not much else that I want to say anything. Yeah, not much interesting stuff tell about this Amazon Leo stuff, I mean, you have already seen it multiples of time, I assume. So better better to just give better one. Okay, so I open this music and enjoy, and I'll be back soon. So see ya.
Acquisition de la télémesure par la station de Nunorcia. La propulsion est nominale. Le pilotage est calme. La propulsion est nominale. Le pilotage est calme. Propulsion nominale. Pilotage calme. La propulsion est nominale. Le pilotage est calme. La propulsion est nominale. Et le pilotage est calme. La propulsion est nominale. Le pilotage reste calme. La propulsion est nominale. Le pilotage est calme. La propulsion est nominale. Le pilotage est calme. Propulsion nominale. Pilotage calme et fin de visibilité de la station de New Norcia. Perte attendue de la télémesure. Retour de la télémesure dans 2 minutes. Acquisition de la télémesure par la station d'Awaruya. Le pilotage est calme. La propulsion est nominale. Le pilotage est calme. La propulsion est nominale. pilotage est calme. La propulsion est nominale. Pilotage toujours calme.
All right, so we are back again, and we are getting ready in for the second ignition of the Vinci upper stage engine. Okay, and as usual, if you don't see any kind of launch replays, that it's because I'm using the raw broadcast slash raw stream, raw live stream directly from the media production of the Arianespace slash European Space Agency. But this one I cannot do this without the help of the friends of this channel, International Rocket Launches IRL. So credit to the friends of the channel, International Rocket Launches, for the providing this raw footage, raw live stream slash broadcast here. So thank you so much. And just to give you a little bit of quick update around almost mission elapsed time at T plus 1 hours and 6 minutes ago, there is Ariane 64 variant rocket configuration of the Block 2 mission has already successfully launched, and that one is the inaugural flight for the P160C side solid rocket boosters, and that one, the common configuration as well, also applicable for the Vega C as well. Vega C in that case is actually called Vega Consolidation. It takes apart all of this common part and then uses it for the flight. But this one for the P160C, at the end of that actually stands for common, while the P stands for the powder. Also the same can be said with the French as well. And 160 is the original target propellant load in metric tons. So originally it should be 160 metric tons of propellant load, and then ended up become 168 metric tons of propellant load, and that's okay, that's fine. Already achieved that target. Previously it's P120C, which actually reaches its 128 metric tons of propellant load. And getting ready in for the second engine start number 2. Get ready as the Vinci rocket engine upper stage will ignite. Get ready soon, anytime from now. And after that we will have a little bit of rest here and there, just for the preparation of the deployment and separation and deployment of the Amazon LEO LE-03. LE stands for LEO Europe, which carries 36 satellites or payloads on board this mission. We will see that soon as well. Okay, and I've already ended the music, so you should be able to hear. Get ready in any seconds from now, as it's going to finalize the orbit trajectory as well. And altitude is 463 kilometers. Distance from Kourou is 13,430 kilometers and counting down. getting near, and the velocity is 7.25 kilometers per second. So yeah, we're getting ready in
Propulsion nominale.
anytime soon for the ignition.
Pilotage calme.
Okay, the trajectory and the mission is completed, and by now the APU, the auxiliary propulsion unit, will be turned on, which the gas generator will
Propulsion
slightly
nominale.
ignite just to pressurize the gas inside the
Pilotage
tank.
calme.
Okay, and get ready in for the ignition. Get ready, stand by. Okay, and should be ignition by now for the Vinci upper stage
Deuxième
engine.
allumage Vinci.
Okay, so we have ignition
La
of the.
propulsion est nominale.
Okay, so we have
Pilotage
ignition.
calme.
We have ignition of the Vinci upper stage rocket engines for
La
the
trajectoire est
second
nominale.
ignition, but this one is temporary and should be
Deuxième extinction Vinci.
okay. Vinci extinction or extinction of Vinci, aka the sec, aka the second engine cutoff number 2 has already confirmed. And as we are getting ready in for the preparation for the Amazon Leo LE-003 will be separated on three each on the first phase of it, which culminated into the 12 ignition overall. I mean, sorry, 12 separations event overall for the Amazon Leo as well. And we're still waiting in.
La propulsion est nominale. Pilotage calme.
Okay, so propulsion is nominal. That's what we want to hear so far. Right now, the mission elapsed time T plus 1 hour, 10 minutes, and 10 seconds into the flight. And by now, the orbit should be nominal by now, and the separation event will happen, which each three of the satellites will be deployed for this mission. And the mass is roughly should be around 575 kilograms, if I remember correctly. Roughly, it has like 573 plus minus something like that. But for simplicity, I just call it 575
Propulsion
kilograms.
nominale.
That one is
Pilotage calme.
based on the each payload mass of the LA, the Leo America. So it should be plus minus equivalent. Okay, but other than that, it should be on the total payload mass should be around 20, should be around a little bit exceeding or slightly less than 20 metric tons, or around 20,000 kilograms, like that. Or in pounds, it will be more than 40,000 pounds on the full whole total of the mission. It's very, very mass demanding, so that's why it's pretty important.
Propulsion est nominale.
Okay, all the propulsion is nominal.
Pilotage calme.
Okay, so I've already lowered it down, so should be okay. Okay, we are still getting ready in preparation for this for the deployment, but otherwise, I believe it shall be happening in few more minutes or tens of minutes from now. I will check back from the here. I'm going to check back from.
La propulsion est nominale.
I'm going to check back from the Arianespace or Arianespace. Here, I will see at what time is it's going to happen.
Pilotage calme.
Okay, so the event will happen around 40 minutes or so. So will be or basically around,
Propulsion nominale.
yeah, around 24 minutes or so. But so we will be back again soon enough. Okay, so we'll be back again. Yeah, so that's it. We'll be back again for the live there. So don't worry. In the meantime, just enjoy.
Fin de
And
visibilité de la télémesure par la station d'Awaruya. Perte attendue de la télémesure. Retour de la télémesure dans à peu près 25 minutes.
yeah, But otherwise, this kind of satellites already passes us by here in Sarawak and Borneo. You can see on the trajectory lines there. Yeah, should be. Yeah, it already passes us by. So it is what it is. And soon enough, it will also crossing to the Pacific Ocean, where we will see that going to be appearing soon as well. Yeah, other than that, I will be back again. So stay tuned for the separation events that will be happening across the whole mission there. So we'll be back soon. So yeah, that's it. In the meantime, just rest and take care. We'll be back. Okay, so we are back again. Yeah, so we are back. And this one will be the final phase for this mission. Okay. This one will be very important as well. Okay, so yeah, apparently I overshoot just a little bit, but just to give you a little bit of quick update there, we already okay, the first set and also the second set has already separated. By now we should hear the call out from the from the DDO. We will hear that soon. Okay, but everything should be good, should be fine. But that's totally fine. That's basically it. It is what it is. Okay, but otherwise, the 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 first and also second sets of the separation event already happened. So right now it brings us total. At first, it will be 3 out of 36 Amazon Leo LE-03 satellite internet constellation already separated, and then followed by just a few moments ago is the second set of the separation number 2, which now brings up total 6 out of 36 Amazon Leo LE-03 constellation satellites to be deployed on top of this great, how do I say, this great bunch payload adapter here. So that's a very good sign so far. Okay, and we will see that another sets to be released back soon here again. We will see the third separation event to occur as well for the mission. But anyhow, I think I can restart the music back. We will see that soon as well. Okay, and the most important thing is that the lowest part of the payload has already almost fully empty by now. We will see that soon. The third separation event to be occurred later on, which will bring 9 out of 36 Amazon Leo LE-03. Okay, you can see from the animations, it shows that it has already separated, but I know the reason why they did not call this out is that because it's still out of range, so that's why we don't hear any kind of call out so far. But however, we will confirm this later on once it passes by to the Guyana Space Center, especially to the Kourou and also to the Galliot Center there. We will listen into the confirmation. Otherwise, it's now 9 out of 36 Amazon Leo LE-03 has already separated, 3 each separated from its payload adapter, and so far the lowest part has already completed its job. So yeah. And we shall see from the animation soon. There should be another sets here to be deployed, which will occur as the fourth main separation event as well for the Amazon Leo LE-03. And just for your information, LE stands for Leo Europe, so it is what it is. And all of this will be confirmed back on the pass head. That one should be confirmed, I think, around separation number 6 or number 7 or maybe 8. Yeah, we will see that soon. But for now, we don't have any kind of signal, so we can only base from this kind of pre-planned course animation here. That's our only best approximator so far. And as you can see, that's why we are still out of range here so far. Yeah, but otherwise, we assume everything is good. And by this point should be the fourth separation to be occurred here. You will see another 3 sets will be separated from the animation. Okay, from the animation it shows another sets to be deployed, already deployed, which now brings in 4 sets right now, which now brings 12 out of 36 satellites to be deployed of the Amazon LEO LE-03 LEO Europe 03 constellation. So by now, the mission completion should have been around 33% in 33.334, yeah, 33.34% complete. So we will see that soon as well. Another one would be for the 5th separation event to occur. Okay, we will see that soon. Okay, and in the meantime, we still waiting in as it properly passes by to the ground control center there, where we finally will get the full confirmation whether or not the first half of this mission actually able to be completed according to the telemetry and also to the preciseness. The most important thing is preciseness according to what it should have done. Yeah, just plus minus a bit with the algorithm calculation, but otherwise should be good. We shall see that. And the altitude right now is 452 kilometers. Distance from Kourou is counting down 3,000 kilometers down and counting, and the velocity is 7.34 kilometers per second. That's another one that's most important. And we shall see the 5th separation event will occur, which will bring in 15 out of 36 Amazon LEO LE-03 to be deployed. We will see on the animation soon as well. On the center lower part of it, okay, you can see that's how it actually separated. Okay, you can see there is also some kind of KU bands. There's like Q, V bands, or whatever bands inside there to make it operational as well. And each of the satellites will eventually go into its own independent slot, but for now is what it is. It will use its own onboard electrical propulsion unit, a thruster there. If I remember, it uses the ion thruster. It's highly efficient. It's around thousands or tens of thousands of specific impulse, but the thrust level is pretty minuscule, very small thrust, so it cannot do that aggressive amount of. It cannot do any kind of aggressive orbital maneuver. So that's why it has to be done very methodically, yeah. And also at the same time, it also makes the adjustment from the space debris pretty difficult, but otherwise pretty precise if you are using that kind of electrical ion thrusters. Okay. Okay.
Acquisition de la télémesure par la station de Galio.
Okay, so already acquired the signals, and we shall hear whether or not DDO can confirm everything, whether or not the 1 to 5 separation events are already done its supposed job by now. We shall hear that soon.
La propulsion est nominale et le pilotage est calme.
Okay, all the propulsion parameters are nominal, even though it's not ignited by now. But then one will be ignited one more time to do that kind of deorbit burn to ensure that the upper stage will not reside into the orbits too soon. And we shall see the 6 separation events to occur, which will bring in 18 out of 36 satellites on board into the mission.
Poursuite de la séquence de séparation Amazon LEO LE-03.
Yeah, so looks like the 6 separations has already occurred right now, which bringing in 18 out of 36 satellites to be deployed, which right now already reaches 50% of the completion. for the Amazon Leo LE-03 satellite, internet satellite constellation, already deployed as well. This is what we want to hear so far. Very good, very good. Okay, and looks like the lowest and lower part has already done its job. The lowest part and also the central lower part already completed its job. So right now only the central upper part and the upper part will be deployed left in this case. So it's half empty right now in the payload adapter. And we are getting ready in for the 7th deployment and separation and deployment of the Amazon Leo LE-03 to be confirmed as well. We will see that soon via the animation and also to the telemetry and also to the DDO call out, the mission director the mission director call out for the mission as well. We will hear that soon, which will bring in later on 21 out of 36 Amazon Leo LE-03 satellites to be deployed. We will see that soon. Okay, get ready in for the 7th separation event and deployment to be occurred for the Amazon Leo LE-03. We will see that soon. Okay, looks like another event there. The 7th separation and deployment event of the Amazon Leo LE-03 should have already occurred. We will listen into the DDO call out. Here you go from the animation and also from the trajectory plot already indicated as well. Let's listen in if the mission director will confirm us that this one already happened, or maybe simply just don't want it as well, just for whatever reason, but it's okay. But otherwise the 7th separation and deployment event of the Amazon Leo LE-03 has already occurred. Okay, which bringing in total 21 out of 36 Amazon Leo LE-03 fully separated by now. Alright, so that's pretty good. After the Galileo, now the crew station has already picked up the signal as well. That's a pretty good signal that we want to hear so far. Yeah. And we are getting ready in for the 8th separation and deployment event that will happen next, which will bring up 24 out of 36 Amazon Leo LE-03 to be deployed as well. We will see that soon. Yeah, we will see that. Okay, the naval station, the shipborne has already start tracking in, other than Galileo and also the Uru as well. Get ready for the F8 separation and deployment event of the Amazon Leo LE-03 internet satellite constellation deployment here. Let's listen in. Okay, the animation already shown here right now, separated by now. Okay, otherwise we don't hear much from the DDO from the mission director, but it should have already indicated that the separation event has already occurred. Right now, 8 out of 12 separations event and deployment has already occurred for the Amazon Leo LE-03, which right now bringing in 24 out of 36 satellites on board this mission already complete by now. And all that's left is separation event number 9, 10, 11, and 12, which is 4 separation events left. This is very important. If it succeeds, then then it means the mission is good. Okay, the propulsion module is nominal, and all of these systems are go. That's also what we want to hear so far. And we are still waiting in the 9th. We will see the 9th separation and deployment event of the Amazon Leo LE-03 to be deployed as well, which will bringing up total count 27 out of 36 Amazon Leo to be deployed as well. Amazon Leo LE-03. Respectively, each satellite will do its own kind of job after that, where the electrical ionic propulsion thruster will do its job on board each satellite itself. For now, it's just riding in just to get this job done, this initial job done. So for the Arianespace and European Space Agency, their job almost done here, but as long there's no problem, their job almost done by now. All that's left for them will be for the third burn and then re-entry back to Earth. And by now should be the 9th separation and deployment event of the Amazon Leo LE-03, which right now bringing up total count 27 out of 36 satellites that's already been deployed. Okay, so looks like already out of visibility for the Galileo station. Galileo station already out, and even the crew trench also already out. And now only the naval ship tracking just tracks out the satellites and the upper stage of the Vinci upper stage of the Ariane 6 rocket itself. And the altitude is 460 kilometers. Distance from Kourou right now back again 2,753 kilometers and counting up. And the VTES, the speed or velocities right now is 7.34 kilometers per second. And coming up for the 10th out of 12 separations event to be occurred as well, which so by this point, from my calculation, it will be like, let me see. By my calculation right now, it's already 75% completion with the conclusion of the 9th out of 12 separation and deployment event of the Amazon Leo LE-03 for the 36 total on board on this mission. Already done its job. We are just waiting for the 3 more left. Or basically, if we have to mathematically count this back, you've been 3 out of 4 in totals already done. And another one is another half part of journey as well. Another quarter more. And the central low upper part already done its job, and the upper part has already begin its job, and the DDO has already called out, and the 10th separation and deployment event of 12 events of it already done for the Amazon Leo LE-03, which right now each set separated the 3 satellites out of it, already done its job, and right now it's 10 out of 12 missions has already completed its job as well. So it's going apart one by one. Of course, you don't want to separate this way too early, way too close, because otherwise, if you do like that, it's going to incur tons of problem as well. So you don't want that kind of stuff to happen. So that's why the event has to be done very carefully, very meticulously as well for the mission. And coming up on the 11th event, 11 out of 12 separation and deployment event of the Amazon Leo LE-03 Internet Satellites constellation there. This one will be the penultimate event, second to last event. If you, in case you want to know what penultimate actually means, which the missions will be going on, still going on, but otherwise it's all good so far. So yeah, we are waiting and keep waiting. And altitude is 462 kilometers. Distance from Kourou is 3,750. 3,773 kilometers and upward right now. And velocity is 7.34 kilometers per second. Get ready in for the 11 out of 12 event here. Separation and deployment. Okay. Okay, based on the... Okay, so the mission director has already called out, and the 11th separation and deployment of the Amazon Leo LE-03, each separation event separated these 3 satellites, already done as well. So the upper part almost done its job, and that's very great news we want to hear so far. The penultimate has already done its job, and we are going to the finale, to the final part. This is the most important part. If anything happens, well, Arianespace and European Space Agency will have to do lots of drawing board kind of stuff, have to solve the problem. What's the problem with the rockets, with the satellites on board this mission? But otherwise, it should be fine. We are getting ready in for the 12 out of 12 in total separation and deployment event of the Amazon Leo LE-03. We will see that soon as well. And get ready in. Altitude is still rising up, but not significantly. Right now, altitude is 464 kilometers. Distance from Kourou is 476 kilometers and upward. Velocity slightly reduced, 7.33 kilometers per second, but otherwise that's pretty normal. And otherwise you can see naval station tracking has already done its job, and now the ground tracking station located in the Santa Maria, the island part, already tracking right now. And get ready for the 12th separation and deployment event of the Amazon Leo LE-03. Let's listen in to the call-out animation already shown, and even the trajectory graph as well. We shall hear this soon.
Poursuite et fin de la séquence de séparation Amazon Leo.
Alright, so that's pretty good. That's what we want to hear so far. The call out from the mission director already indicated everything is good. That's what we want to hear so far. That's good. That's very good. So 36 out of 36 satellites has already deployed for the total 12 separation and deployment event of the Amazon Leo LE-03, already fully successful for this mission. And that's basically it.
La propulsion est nominale.
Okay, and otherwise we will going to the Arianespace. Let's see what they are talking about.
Fishbowl David, of course, is the CEO of Arianespace and also head of the flight desk. David, so the mission's ongoing.
La propulsion est nominale.
Tell us.
So this is the inside the mission control. Let's listen in for the final time.
Hi again, everybody. The mission is still in progress. We only have partial data at the moment.
Okay, this is David Cavell-Loles, the CEO of the Arianespace. Let's listen in.
Exactly as planned, the satellites have reached successfully their target orbit. So this is a milestone, and even if the mission is still ongoing, I would like to thank all the team and congratulate all the team involved. Today we have launched the heaviest European launcher ever, and this is really really a turning point. Last but not least, of course, thank you to Amazon. We are more motivated than ever to make Amazon Leo a success.
Well, David, thank you very much indeed.
Okay, so
Congratulations to you and to all the teams.
so
Thank you very
so
much,
already
David
done his
Rose.
job. Arianespace CEO David
Look,
Caviolos
it's been,
already
it
done
was a beautiful launch,
his speech,
and we are coming to the end of our
and yeah,
programme
Katie as
now.
well. Here's
But congratulations to everyone who's worked so hard on
give
today's
the
launch.
main commentator for the
Thank you.
Arianespace and for the
Yes,
European
thanks
Space
to
Agency
also to
here.
all the teams at Ariane Group and
And
Arianespace,
as you
all
can
the
see on
people involved at
the
the Arianespace Center
right
and
side there,
all over the globe.
it's already
They've been doing
empty
a great job again.
from the crew
And also,
from the Guyana
lots of
Space Center,
thanks to the
the
Amazon
Ariane
Leo
Launch
team.
Assembly
Our thanks also
or
to the
Ariane Launch
production
Complex
team who've made
number
this
4
live broadcast possible,
already
and to you
already
for
completed.
joining
So
us
yeah,
on
pretty
Road to
good.
Space. We're going to leave.
That's the best that we
to
want
you,
to
Louis
use.
Leroy,
And to
for
you,
being with
Katie,
us.
thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks for having me.
Okay.
And lending us your expertise. We're going to leave you now with
Yeah, for the most part, I'm
little
using the
film
raw
about Arianespace,
raw
which will be
broadcast
filmed about
slash stream
Arianespace
from
and
the
a replay of the launch. But for
from
now,
directly
me,
from
Katie
the
Haswell,
media
And for me,
production
Louis Leroy.
goodbye.
via the International Rocket Launches. So IRL, thank you so much as well for the raw broadcast stuff. And that's basically already completed its job.
What's the moment you partner with us?
Okay,
As we
so
go
this
above
is
and beyond,
the
to
statement
understand your
before
world.
we end this
Your
stream as
world
well.
from orbit.
So yeah, you
Everything
can see
you've
there.
ever
I
imagined.
believe that one is CSG,
The value you bring home to Earth.
CSG or something to do with the MTG satellite
So,
series,
whatever
if
your
I remember
goals,
correctly.
However far you want to go,
So
your
this is
success is our mission.
the closing statement as well. Yeah, so fortunately everything is fine and good.
More than rockets.
Yeah, you can see this one is the Ariane 62 rocket variant. So far, not yet the Ariane 64 variant.
Arianespace.
Not uses yet
Launching
outside.
ambitions.
Not yet users outside. Not yet have any users yet outside the Amazon Leo. And you can see this is the ignition. Okay. Wow! Look at that view. And that one should be. Wow! Look at that! Look at that! How it actually rotates itself. It's looking pretty good. Pretty nice, isn't it? That's what we want to look at. Okay, pretty impressive as well. And this one still in the flight. And after that, the separation of the SRBs event. You can see inaugural flight for the P160C. Pretty good. And after that, the pellet frame separation with the flexing itself, and then interstage separation after the first stage engine cutoff of the Vulcan 2.1, and then stage passivation and propellant dumping out initiator as well. And basically that's it. We've already done the job here. So thank you so much everybody for watching. And yeah, especially thank you to Arianespace and European Space Agency for the live stream here. And for the raw broadcast slash stream straight out from the media production, I thank to the International Rocket Launches IRL for providing that view, so I'm able to stream that here and there. And yeah, before we go, probably it's also good for me to just let the credits roll out, because without these people as well, there's not going to have any kind of awesome stream as well. So yeah. And we're still scrolling in, but it's not going to be that long, I promise. Okay, and the copyright right there, Arianespace. So otherwise, that's it. Okay, so that's it. Looks like we've already ended here. So thank you so much everybody for watching. You have already saw the Arianespace's Ariane 64 Block 2 rocket, inaugural flight of the P160C side solid rocket boosters. That one replaces the P120C. So moving forward, I can say it's already done and already proved itself pretty admirably, pretty well, and pretty good. That's what we want to see. It has already done its job pretty well, and what a very majestic view. And even the upper stage Vinci, enhanced Vinci as well, already done its job. That's pretty awesome, but all that's left is just to do that kind of third burn. That one is for the deorbit burn, and then after that, if everything goes fine, it will re-enter us back to Earth 1+ hours from now. Yeah, and then by that point, if all is well, enhanced Vinci upper stage rocket engines will also going to prove itself pretty well after all. So far I can say a Vinci upper stage rocket engine, even though the first flight is pretty bonkers on the second relight on the second ignition, but otherwise I can say Vinci rocket upper stage engine there, it's pretty reliable, it's pretty great. I can say it does its job pretty admirably very well, and I can say somehow the spirit of the HM 7A and 7B, it lives on here on the Vinci upper stage. So technically, it's really great. That's what it is. It's passing by its own torches of its siblings and family generations as well. So yeah, thank you so much everybody for watching. This is basically it. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So Yasa Vradhaya 8434, hello. Do you prefer playing Kerbal Space Program? I can say somehow I prefer, but yeah, I'm very sorry if I didn't get your message. I don't know what's happening. I don't know what happened actually. Oh, I see. I forgot to configure that live chat. My apology. I'm very sorry. That's why I didn't get your message, and especially for Starship. Oof, I'm late. Yeah, it's okay, Starship. Sorry. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I didn't configure my chat link inside OBS, so sorry. Anyhow, I do prefer playing KSP, but kinda casually. Yeah, so another one, Starship, yeah. Oof, Starship, but anyhow, hello. Sorry, I didn't respond to you. I forgot to configure the proper link. Stream inside my OBS, so oops. Yeah, so very much there. So yeah, Yasavradaya 8434. If you don't see my message, I'm very sorry. That's my honest mistake. I don't plan that happen. I forgot to actually configure it properly. That's why I wondered, hey, why the chat somehow appears there, but I did not get a message. Apparently, I found the culprit. Yeah, I don't know why. I'm dumb. I'm very sorry, everybody. And I'm sorry Yasavrat Daya, and also I'm sorry Starship, I didn't respond to your message. Wow, what a dumb am I. So but anyways, hopefully it doesn't deter you. Yeah, I don't know why I forgot to check it, but anyhow, thank you so much everybody for watching the launch of the Arianespace's Ariane 64 Block 2 rocket for the flight VA2, what is it, 269 if I remember correctly. Yeah, VA269, carrying 36 satellite internet satellites constellation for the Amazon LEO LE-03 launch. LE stands for the LEO Europe. So yeah, thank you so much for watching, and very much apology on my side that I forgot to actually read your message, because I improperly configured that stream to other kind of previously already done stream. I forgot to change it, so I don't know what I'm doing, but otherwise, oops, yeah, I'm pretty much apology for that. I hope this is another only time that I mess up, but otherwise it is what it is. So thank you so much everybody for watching. We shall see you soon for tomorrow launches here. Yeah, tomorrow launches will be here as well. Yeah, it will be for the NRL 179. This one will be around, I believe, yeah, it will be around less than 19 hours from now, so we will see that soon. Yeah. Oh, apparently they already changed the time for the onward and upward mission. It's on Sunday, so well, it is what it is. Ooh, but yeah, anyhow, that's it. Thank you so much everybody for watching, and take care, stay safe, bye bye. And yeah, once again, apology for the chat. Oopsie there, I did not properly respond. Yeah, I don't know why I'm doing, but anyhow, please don't be too triggered about this kind of stuff. Yeah, it happens from time to time, especially when I try to set up and I do have some kind of little oopsies, but well, it's okay. Please don't just go click unsubscribe just because of that mess up. But otherwise, that's it. Thank you so much everybody for watching, and take care. Bye bye. And that's it. We've already done our stream, and it's good time for us to go away right now, and just take care and stay safe, and just have fun, and also relax at the same time, please. So yeah, and also please keep yourself hydrated. We are pretty much approaching, or already approaching summer, but if I have to take meteorological count, almost in the summer, so please stay safe. It's pretty humid, pretty hot, and also recently we just have rain here as well, so the humidity level is obviously going to be up here as well. So yeah, thank you so much everybody. Bye bye, take care.